ball game.
Hey guys, welcome back to SH. It's your boys Omar and Andy.
What's up?
How we feeling, Andy? Energy's good today. Energy's good.
Energy is good. Energy is kind of okay. I just finished watching games of today. Clearly, we had Golden State Timberwolves, and then we had Boston. Surprisingly, still in this. They did not go down. But
but yes. Before we start, hit the subscribe button, like the video, would really help us out. But yes, before we also get into it, quick shout out to Jason Tatum. I personally never want to see someone go down. I don't like, everything stays between the lines. Do I like the Celtics fan base? Hell no. But,
Hey man, injuries happen to everybody, but sometimes it brings the teams together.
Speedy recovery. That's Dame, Kyrie, and Jason. I hope to see next year.
Okay. Yeah. So, talking about the first team that officially got eliminated in the semifinals.
Let me get something off.
Go ahead, brother.
I get it. Mobley, not 100%. Garland, injured for the last couple months. Mitchell, not 100%. Harden, not 100%. Not 100%. I don't give a damn, honestly. When you look at context, it was, I don't know if it was from what I've seen or Cavs corner with Wendy, but damn it, you blow a 20-point lead in game 2, being a 7-point lead with about 30 seconds. You somehow managed to blow that. Cool. 2-1. You understand how important game 4 is. You're down 80-39 at halftime. And you come home. You build an 18-point lead. And once again, you find a way to blow the game as well in game 5 to get eliminated in 5. And I get it. The Indiana Pacers are great. Nimhard, Halliburton, Miles Turner, also Siakam, all of the Pacers. Great team. But this is the pointing ass year for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Hey man, they're frauds. They were on fraud watch. Instantly. The second I knew it was gonna happen. You know what? I agree with the dog though. He understood it's fraud watch time.
It's completely embarrassing. But I will say this: reaching contention is not linear. So I hope we saw it took time with Boston. We see growing pains across the league. I hope Cleveland doesn't go and blow it up. The Eastern Conference is gonna be wide open next year.
I mean, yeah, it'll be more open than it was. Correct.
Completely wide open.
Yeah.
At this point, I am praying and begging to Orlando to get this roster together so we can make a finals run.
I mean, hey man, all I know is, man, it's crazy. I didn't think they would lose that bad. I had faith in your ability to choose who would come out on top, and I was wrong. I disrespected the Indiana Pacers again.
Twice in a row. And am I gonna do it a third time? Probably, but
I'm not. I'm a believer now. I'm gonna say it.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that when we see who comes out, and that's it.
I don't want to ignore this series.
Yeah. So
they had a zone. The Cleveland. I thought the Cavaliers had found something with the zone. It's just Darius Garland was awful. I get he had a toe injury, but he was not good. Donovan Mitchell. Listen, playoff roster. Donovan Mitchell is him.
Bro, the thing that I hate is because I love Donovan Mitchell. He shows again and again his heart out every time he makes the playoffs. And it was the same thing in Utah, where he'd be scoring 40. It looked like he was the whole damn team. And it happened again in Cleveland. And I feel like he left Utah to avoid being in that same position that he was in before. Darius Garland, injury. Where was he when he was not injured, though? He had to... He literally took off the game before, 5th? He took off game 4 of the second half because of his ankle. Yeah, he still had to come back because he knew that his team could not do anything without him.
You know what it is. You know what? I'm not gonna get on Garland.
I will.
because I'm not. Because I get it. You once you're hurt, you can only do so much, especially with how fast the Pacers play. I'm more looking at the guy that probably cost himself $40 to $50 million this summer. Ty Jerome was awful.
He's a fraud, bro. What, he does good against the Heat?
I would, I was a believer in Ty Jerome. He was great all year, and then when it comes to this series, nowhere to be found.
Yep.
Awful. When you needed him the most, you needed one guy to step up. Mitchell giving you 40. Mobley's not there. Jerome 1 for 14.
I mean, Strus, what, 0 for 9, I think, motherfucker went? Yep.
Strus couldn't be found in Game 5. And it's wild because we saw this happen. Cleveland, I think Cleveland's just one more guard play, one more ball handler you can trust away.
I don't know, but
if Garland isn't on it, you need someone else you can trust. Now, I don't know who that guy is. Maybe it's a Dennis Schroeder or whatever. But it's just that this was a completely disappointment.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It was a first seed getting knocked out in 5, where it's like,
it's the context of blowing games.
Yeah,
because if you were good enough to have that lead, an 8-point lead with 40 seconds to go, they fundamentally broke down and like turnovers on inbounding, and so on and so forth. It allowing offensive rebounds on free throws. You deserve to lose.
Yeah. I 1,000,000,000% agree. It real tight. It was just the Cleveland got their heart stolen, and they just could never find the heart to get back into it. Everybody else, other than obviously Mitchell, Mobley also had some good games, so I'm not gonna follow him. But they need the team. There's something's lacking there, like you said, and the thing is to get to that point, because they at this point now have been knocked out in the semifinals the last 2 years. The first year we were saying, okay, maybe it's because Evan Mobley and Jared Allen can't play together.
And Jared Allen got hurt. Jared Allen missed the Boston Celtics series.
Correct. Yeah, but now, what's the excuse now?
I mean, not Mitchell. Darius Garland wasn't great in that playoff run either. He wasn't particularly good against Orlando. Wasn't particularly good against the Celtics. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, you know what? First playoff run, so be it. Now he's hurt. Now you have a lot of question marks thrown at the Cavaliers, who had an historic regular season. But I don't know. Because a lot of organizations like to overreact, especially the expensive teams.
Yeah.
If you don't see growth, we see a lot of ownership and a lot of front offices. We're gonna see it from Boston over this summer. You're going to see change. The Celtics, the Cavaliers are going to be very expensive.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, I feel like just knowing that the results are still the same, I feel like something's gonna change because the organization's gonna want to see results. They don't want to keep seeing semifinal eliminations. Not being able to beat X team, Y team.
So for you, who's the guy you shot?
For me, I mean personally, for me, it's like I obviously Darius Garland was injured, but it's now back-to-back years where we've seen that he doesn't perform well in playoff pressure. So maybe I think we could find someone else that can facilitate the ball a little bit better, or just do something that Darius Garland does not bring to the table to this team.
Okay, so I agree. I don't know if you move Darius Garland or you. I think with the Cavaliers need more size in the backcourt. The NBA is like evolving more like a combination of the past era and the current era, where you see a lot of big motherfuckers on it.
It's just now big men need to be able to shoot threes. They got to be
Hallie's 6'5". No, I'm talking even the guards. Hallie's 6'5". Across the East, Drew Holiday is 6'4". Derek White 6'4". You go across it. Brunson's the only exception.
Yeah.
Because even Cade's 6'8". Suggs is 6'4", 6'5". Kobe White in Chicago 6'5". You see a lot of size at the guard position, and that's a lot. Donovan Mitchell as well is 6'2", 6'3". Strus is what, 6'5"?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But let's give our dues. Obviously, Cleveland had a stinker, but the Pacers really came in playing in a way that I did not expect them to come with such drive to get back to their conference finals.
Yes, again, the Pacer defense continues to surprise me. I'm very happy with the defense they've been playing. The offense is running gun. You cannot let them get into transition. Tyrese Halliburton is the maestro at the point guard spot. Miles Turner playing great on both ends of the ball. Pascal Siakam in the mid range, in the post, knocking down threes, playing amazing. Aaron Nesmith knocking down timely shots. Nembhard, he's
He did struggle a bit, I will say, but
Ben Mathurin had played well throughout the series in spots, but Nembhard, when you needed him the most to hit shot, he made them.
Yep.
I thought the Pacers were missing that third piece to go alongside Siakam and Halliburton, but maybe Nembhard is that third piece.
Yeah. No, and I feel like the thing about the Pacers is, which obviously everybody kind of discredited them, is that they kind of have a very complete team in the sense that it's like, in this series alone, we saw like some games Siakam would be doing bad, but Miles Turner would turn up, or Tyrese Halliburton would do bad, but the other two, Siakam and Turner, would do good. And I think they just fundamentally work where it's like, if you can have a piece removed, but everything else will still function as well as they did as a team. And I think that's something that is overlooked a lot in a lot of teams.
Yes, and then you look at, I'm very proud of the Indiana Pacers. I think they're going to be back in the more likely not next year as well, but focus on this year. The Pacers are going to the Eastern Conference Finals, waiting for the winner of the Knicks and Celtics.
Yeah. But,
regardless of who they play, that's going to be a hell of a series. I'm so excited.
It's going to be something great to see. And now moving on to the West, as it has been finally game over, the Golden State Warriors have been sent fishing, 110-121.
I want to start off by saying this.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the last playoff run we see out of Steph Curry, I am completely saddened by this.
Yeah.
This is not how I wanted to see Curry go out.
Yeah.
I don't see how the Golden State Warriors go about improving this roster drastically enough to compete out west. Dallas is going to be back. You have Houston. You have OKC. I expect the Clippers. I don't know what to expect out of the Clippers, but I expect the Lakers to reform their roster around Luka better. San Antonio's coming. Portland's coming. And I don't know. I don't see how, because you see, Steve. Listen. I've seen I don't know how good of a coach Steve Kerr is. There's no way in hell you have a guy like Jonathan Kuminga on the bench rotting. You give him meaningful minutes,
and he gave you meaningful stats the whole way through. Jonathan Kuminga was on a tear every single game.
Completely efficient. Individually, he was good defensively. The only thing I was like, was his off-ball defense, but that's more of a timing thing, more of a rhythm thing that you need to be able to find playing alongside your teammates. But when you don't do it, because you're in the doghouse, because Golden State refused to pay you what you wanted over the summer, and they took it out during the regular season, it's like, damn. And then you look at it, the hamstring injury to Steph was probably caused by the wear and tear, running 3 miles in a Game 7 against Houston, quick turnaround to Game 1. Maybe if you allow Kuminga to play, you could take the load off Steph a little bit.
It's the thing is that I feel like Golden State is kind of going through what the Bucks are going through, in the sense of they're the probably one of the oldest teams in with the young era coming out, and they are refusing to put in for their young guys. Instead, they're trying to get quick results in a Jimmy Butler, and it's just not working out for them.
But for Milwaukee, they tried. Golden State as an organization failed.
Yeah.
You refused because you refused to move Pajensky. You refused to move Pods for Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen would have helped in a playoff run.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like, but it's not really, because it's just they can't commit to both sides. They want to commit to being young, but still give Steph his dues. But you can't do it at the same time. You have to choose one or the other, and that's what they're refusing to do. So, and if you had Kuminga, why not trade him? If you're gonna play this, because I don't know if Golden State's gonna go ahead and match the offer sheet, because he's gonna be a restricted free agent. Mm-hmm. And he showed in these last 3 playoff games that he played in that he can't play.
But I don't know. and it bothers me because especially as a head coach, if you're a great head coach, you change your offensive scheme to the players you have. If you have a guy like Kuminga that can play on the ball, let him cook. Evolve your offense to the guys that you have on your roster. This isn't 2016, dog.
Yeah, no, I agree. But that's just something that they're gonna have to figure out what to commit to in the summer. But going on forward to the next round, Anthony Edwards again showing
they're going to the final
and more and more.
They're going to the finals.
I mean, he obviously he'd say it because he has to switch team off the Cavs, but this boy don't know ball. OKC's going to the finals, but they're having a. We're not going to even compare a Wolves versus a Stephen Curry-less playoff team with Denver playing at an insane. That's like we're not even going to talk about it. But the winner that comes out of Denver versus OKC is going to the finals. That's hands down. There's nothing to compare about that.
I'm going to say this about OKC and Denver before we talk about Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
You look. Denver is showing a lot of the holes OKC has, in a sense of you have your true one in SGA, you have the depth, but I don't trust J-Dub as a number 2 yet. He goes way too many times where he can't show up for you consistently. Chet hasn't developed into that yet. And again, we saw it with Cleveland. This shit don't happen exponentially. This doesn't happen year to year where you go from getting knocked out in the second round to the conference finals. Minnesota was there last year. They got to the conference finals and learned what type of a different beast it is. And I fully expect Minnesota to be ready for this moment this time around. And defensively, I trust, and even as role players, I trust Minnesota's more than I trust Denver's. Porter Jr. has been non-existent for Denver outside of one game. Aaron Gordon magically turned into something special, but outside of that, Christian Braun's been inconsistent. Russ has been inconsistent. I trust DiVincenzo. I trust Mike Conley, McDaniels, Naz Reid. Minnesota is the reason the Denver Nuggets will lose this series to OKC is because of their depth. Minnesota has that depth. I promise you, Minnesota has that depth.
I'm not switching my team. I know Minnesota is playing wonderful. Julius Randle has gotten new life. He's showing something incredible in this series. Don't know if it's going to continue, but we'll see. But it's just
a lot of fun also because these are teams we really didn't expect to be this far anyways.
Yeah. My thing is though, the Timberwolves haven't been pushed. They have not been pushed to the level that OKC is going through right now. I'm not gonna say it was a cakewalk, but I'm gonna say that it wasn't what the other side of the West is doing right now.
But they felt that last year. They understand that feeling.
Yeah, but yes, that was last year. But this year,
OKC hasn't felt that moment.
But they're feeling it now, is what I'm saying. They've basically they're right as of right now. At least they're going to war with Denver.
In terms of being getting tested, yes, but we see people run out of gas, especially younger teams, as they go forward, and they haven't made it that far yet.
I don't know. We're gonna have to see because they got eliminated last time in the semifinals, and that was I don't even know who it was against. I think it was against the Wolves, was it not? The OKC.
OKC last year got eliminated by.
It was either the Wolves or Dallas, and I'm pretty sure it was the Wolves.
Because Minnesota went through Phoenix, and then they went to. What's it?
It was either, well, real quick we'll go to the books, but I'm 99% sure they went through it was either OKC or Dallas, one of the two finalists in the conference. So I don't see them falling again, and like they went to the ball for them, and that's why I'm not gonna cut them short because they. At least right now, they're the ones that have known the pressure. They're going to keep doing well. Obviously, you're right. They can tire out, but they can also say that they've been in the mentality of every game has been a war for them. So But we'll see. So, did you look it up?
Yes.
Who was it?
Um, Minnesota beat Denver in the second round. OKC lost to Dallas.
Okay. So yeah. So I don't know. It's a discussion to make. Dallas was on a run with last year. OKC lost, but it gave them. I think they got enough. They didn't get enough, but they got the experience they needed to get to make a run to see what they need to come to get, and that's what they're doing this season, or at least against Denver. And I think that's what they're gonna bring to Minnesota. Because the thing about Minnesota, yeah, Jalen Williams every now and then he's not great, but it's just a different monster. Because we're talking an actual team with centers, with the two twin towers in the Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein. We got the guy that's basically a matchup for Anthony Edwards, which is Shea. They run 10 deep. It's obviously going to be a really good series to watch. If obviously OKC makes it out, which I'm hoping they do. But I don't know. I'm still a non-believer of Minnesota.
It's just I also believe Minnesota has the defenders for Shea that Denver doesn't have.
Yeah, but fair. That's a fair point. I'm not gonna say.
McDaniels. I think Jaden McDaniels on SGA is going to be very interesting to watch, because then you're going to force J-Dub to be game in and game out. Have to be very good.
Yes, but that's the thing about it's like if they can manage to handle Jokic with the rotating. The thing about OKC is that they run deep. Exactly like you're saying about Minnesota is
has been, but we knew this coming in. OKC fixed their issues in the front court.
Yeah. So my thing is in the Timberwolves, what has changed, I guess, from last season, other than obviously Cat to Julius Randle?
Anthony, I watched the Anthony Edwards interview, and he specifically said when we got to the conference finals, we were gassed out, and we did it, and we learned over the summer that there's a next level of being in shape we have to be, of mentally toughness we have to get to in order to be that moment.
Well, anyway, because we got completely off topic. We don't even know who's going to be going against the Timberwolves. But the Timberwolves, they're going to put up a fight no matter what. Like you said, they have gone through.
I don't expect this series to be a blowout in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. But you're basically saying, though, so who's winning the championships now since Cleveland got booted?
I don't know. We'll talk when we see the
all right. Went from Timberwolves going to the finals time.
I have a couple days to think about it.
Yeah, that's good.
Before the Celtics get eliminated and whoever comes out of the
all right, that's fair. All right. Well, I'm riding with my OKC until they prove me wrong. But I think that's it for at least the two teams down, 2 teams left.
Yeah. Just to make sure we're on the same page, we both have the Celtics going home in next game, right?
They should be going home. If they don't go home, then what an embarrassment for New York. They should be sent home packing. OKC, hopefully they close it out too in Game 6, but hopefully, that should be tomorrow's games, right? I think they're both tomorrow, or is it one?
No.
We should be back on this. Probably posted on Sunday, if they both get sent home on Thursday and Friday. So
yeah, today's only Wednesday.
Yeah, today's only Wednesday. So Thursday and Friday, well, hopefully the series will be over. We'll be back. You'll probably see this on Sunday. Honestly, if it should be, relatively should be around this Sunday. But if not, oh well. If you guys think any of these who do you guys want to win out of these potential top 4s? This is going to be a great finals when we get to the ending of this. But
who I think, I don't know who I think, but what I want to see, man, I need to see New York go up in flames. I need to see the parties and the videos. I need to see the videos of go New York, go New York, go. I have to see those.
Well, hopefully they get past Boston and Jaylen Brown because Luke Cornett.
JB and Cornett put on a show tonight. 30-point triple double. We had Prime Hakeem Olajuwon. I love that.
All right, but we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.